What happens when a bunch of rich people hunt down random people for fun, taking them hostage and leaving them in a deserted area while enjoying watching them struggle to survive? Who could possibly make out of this alive? The movie opens with a woman named Athena sitting in her home office, chatting with her billionaire friends about the upcoming hunt at the manor. They kidnap random, unsuspecting people and kill them just for fun. The scene shifts to the elites on board a private jet heading to the location of their creepy game. Kelly, the flight attendant, offers Richard some caviar, but he doesn't like it and asks her to bring him champagne instead. But she overpours the glass and even drops the bottle in fear. It turns out that one of the kidnapped NPCs woke up before the game even started. Richard thinks, why the hell is he awake? Probably the tranquilizers didn't really work on the giant. The man starts to panic while uttering some words. Ted steps forward and introduces himself as a doctor while trying to calm him down. Ted requests Kelly to place some towels on the floor and then carefully tells him to lie down on the floor. Ted asks the attendant for her pen, but suddenly, he stabs the guy in the neck. The man starts bleeding like a freaking water tap while groaning in pain. Richard is not happy because Ted killed him before the game even started. Just then, the big man grabs the bottle of champagne and knocks Ted down on the floor. He then breaks the bottle and starts wildly swinging at the scared elites. Everyone tries to calm him down while Athena grabs one of her designer heels and slowly approaches the man. She sticks the heel into his eye socket. She takes out the heel while the man suffers excruciating pain. Ted then drags him back into a room full of other unconscious people who are kidnapped. The blonde girl then wakes up in the woods with a bar gag in her mouth. She desperately tries to remove it, but it's padlocked. She desperately looks around and sees a woman named Crystal, not far away with the same bar gag in her mouth. Crystal takes a steel pin and electrifies it by rubbing it on her hair. She then puts the pin on a leaf and lets it float on water. The girl calls her but gets ignored. She then sees a man and follows him instead, but they are not the only ones in the forest. All of the people with bar gags entered an open ground. There was a wooden mystery box in the center of the ground. A man curiously approached it and grabbed the crowbar. He then tries to pry open the box, but the old man shouts that it might be a trap. However, the man kept going and opened the wooden crate. Everyone was terrified and ran to hide somewhere. However, it was just a small pig inside, and everyone took a sigh of relief. Just then, the man reaches in and pulls out an array of weapons from the crate. Everyone rushes to the crate to arm themselves with their favorite weapons, while the blonde girl notices a small envelope attached to the separated panel that has keys inside. She uses it to remove the gag on a nearby man, and he returns the favor. They also use the keys to free everyone else.
What is happening? What?
This old man named Don gives blonde girl a gun and explains to her how to use it. Suddenly, a sniper starts shooting at them.
Hit me.
The man takes cover behind the crate while several other people are killed. The man takes a moment to think and finally runs towards the woods. He stops to see the woman impaled by the traps. He takes her out and tries to escape, but sadly steps on a mine. One survivor manages to run into the woods and comes across a barbed wire fence.
Don't shoot, asshole, I'm on your side.
3 other survivors also join him and jump over the fence. But when it's the old man's turn, someone starts shooting arrows at them.
No!
The old man ends up sacrificing himself for the greater good. The remaining 3 survivors cross the street and enter a store run by an old couple. The old couple thinks they are being robbed and offers cash. The others block the entrance with a shelf, while the other man asks them about the location.
Take the money.
I don't want your damn money. Where the f are we?
He borrows a phone from them and calls 911, explaining everything that's been happening to them. He asks them to send help by tracing the location of the phone call.
I am at a gas station. Can you please just trace the call?
Just then, one of the survivors starts throwing up foam after eating some sweets from the store. All of them get confused, and it turns out that the couple is also part of the game. They throw halothane to neutralize them and shoot the other man with a shotgun. They then make sure that all of them are dead and take their bodies to a secret room. The old woman feels bad about them.
Honey, he probably uses the N-word.
Athena talks to them on walkie-talkie, informing them that another survivor is coming soon. The old couple get into their characters again. After some time, Crystal enters the store and asks for a pack of cigarettes. She bends down to get a note from her socks.
I lost my wallet.
Crystal realizes that the woman has returned more money than she was supposed to. Suddenly, Crystal attacks the woman and shoots her husband with a hidden shotgun. The old woman begs for mercy, but Crystal shoots her anyway. She opens the pack of cigarettes, but it's empty. She checks the shop for any potential dangers and takes their radio. She also restocks shells of the shotgun. After leaving the shop, she finds an old truck that is planted with a bomb. If she tries to open it, she would blow up. She hides behind the bushes and listens to the radio chat of the elites. Athena asks Richard to check on Crystal, as they have lost her location. He sends a drone to look through the shop window, but couldn't find Crystal there. Suddenly, someone shoots down the drone. Athena realizes that someone is listening to their conversation, and everyone should turn their radio off.
Turn your fucking radio off, now!
At least one of you is smart.
Just then, Gary shows up, making sure that the drone is dead. As he approaches the truck, Crystal whistles to catch his attention. She reveals herself, saying that she is on his side, but he doesn't believe her, so she tells him about the bomb in the truck. She tells him he shouldn't have shot that drone because now they know their location. He follows her to some train tracks she saw earlier. While walking, Gary gives his theory on why all this is happening. He believes it's based on an article that's been circulating online. He explains that every year the liberal elites kidnap random people and hunt them for fun in a mansion in Vermont. His yapping is cut short when Crystal realizes that a train is approaching. They chase it down and Crystal jumps into the carriage, then helps Gary get in. Just as they catch their breath, they hear a noise coming from deeper inside the carriage. It turns out they are some scared refugees. The refugees do not speak a word of English, and Gary starts suspecting that they are not real, but instead crisis actors. Crystal thinks they're real because they have a baby. Gary threatens them to confess or otherwise.
I'm gonna blow your dick off.
The train suddenly stops, and the army starts searching the carriage and finds the illegal immigrants. Crystal asks Gary to hide his gun, or they will be dead for real. Crystal and Gary approach the officer in charge and introduce themselves as Americans.
American. Yeah.
He explains to them that these refugees are fake and are crisis actors, claiming that he's been exposing these things on his podcast. But the officer doesn't understand shit and walks away. Mike, who is one of the elites disguised as a refugee, explains to Gary that the other refugees and the soldiers are real. The train was not supposed to stop, so he should calm down so they could get out of this together. He even offers them a head start before he comes to hunt them again.
I'm not your buddy!
Gary becomes furious, pins him to the ground and shoves one of his grenades in his pants. Everyone starts running for cover while Mike struggles to get the grenade out. Crystal is sent to a refugee camp separately from Gary. She's then taken to an English-speaking gentleman who introduces himself as Dino. He asks if she has any papers on her, but she asks him to just call the American embassy. She asks about where she is right now, but Dino questions her if she's hunted like Don.
Who the f*** is Dawn?
Then Don is brought in, who is the same old man who stopped the guy from opening the mystery box containing weapons. After some cross-examination, they are released into the camp. Don says that he can't wait to expose this once he gets out, but Crystal doesn't care. She only wants to get out alive. Just then, Dino welcomes an official of the US government, who rescues them from the camp. On the way to the US embassy, he hears their story and assures them to get military support to find these so-called elites. He then starts asking why only they were hunted. They must have done something wrong. Crystal realizes that he's one of them and kicks him out of the speeding car. She then reverses back to secure the kill. Don starts shouting at her for killing an innocent man.
He was trying to save us.
But he goes quiet when he sees Gary's body in the trunk of the car. She also finds a map while Don counts the people that have died. According to him, only 2 of them are left. Crystal shows him the place on the map where he was taking them. Then Crystal tells Don about a story of the jackrabbit and the box turtle.
Because the jackrabbit always wins.
Just then, the same little pig from earlier shows up. Later that night, the elites camp at the shooting post, ready to take down the remaining people. Sergeant Dale tells them to keep their voices down. Richard decides to go pee outside, but suddenly Don shows up and Crystal gets the job done. Sergeant hears a commotion outside and immediately gets everyone in position. Suddenly, the little pig drops into the bunker and they all start shooting the shit out of it.
What the f***? He was an innocent!
Suddenly, Crystal pops one of their heads, triggering a gunfight. Crystal shoots Peter in the leg, but he barely manages to escape. She disarms and shoots the sergeant, knocking him down. Crystal then stabs Liberty with one of her own arrows. She sees a gun and picks it up in style. The doctor pulls out the magazine, but there's still one bullet in the gun. She then grabs the sniper rifle and eliminates the injured Peter trying to escape. Just then, the sergeant comes out of nowhere and starts attacking her, but she manages to take him down with a broken metal pipe.
Whoa, hey, it's me!
Dawn finally joins the party.
Thank you for all the help.
She then gives Dawn a chance to ask her why they are doing this, but she then shoots Liberty anyway. Athena hears everything over the radio.
Did you get her? Dawn!
She pretends that Dawn is one of them to confuse Crystal. She asks him to lower his gun, but he doesn't listen, and she's forced to shoot him too.
Is she hurt?
Dawn's dead.
Athena provokes her to come and get her before cutting off the radio. She goes to the injured sergeant and asks him to give her the location of Athena. He warns her that Athena is the most prepared out of all the elites. It is then revealed that Crystal is actually an army veteran who served in Afghanistan. After getting all the information she needed, she finally shoots the sergeant. The scene shifts to 1 year ago, when the group chat of Athena and her friends got leaked about them killing innocent people in the manor. This got viral as many websites sprung up with conspiracy articles, exposing what the elites are doing at the back end. Athena says that it was just a simple joke, but there are a group of people who actually think this is real.
What?
The members involved in the chat had to step down from their positions just because of a joke. The elites then decided to take revenge on the people who made this chat go viral. They only picked 12 people because it was their first time. The scene shifts to Crystal, who has arrived at Athena's house. Athena orders her to disarm herself before entering the house, or she will blow her up. She enters the house and sees the pictures of all the 12 hunted people, including her. She finds Athena making a grilled cheese sandwich. She reveals that they were not hunting people for sport. It was them who ruined their reputation on the internet and forced them to do it. She reveals what she knows about Crystal and her life, but Crystal replies that she got the wrong one. As there are 2 Crystals in town, she is low-key messed up because this Crystal can fight. Athena doesn't believe her, so they start fighting each other. They punch and kick themselves, throwing each other around the house. They break many things, but Athena catches her expensive champagne. Crystal kicks her through the fire, but she pulls out her shotgun. She tries to disarm her, but her arm gets caught. She jumps off the stairs and has a very bad landing. Athena comes down and grabs the 2 knives. She stabs Crystal, and they both crash outside the glass window. They eventually come inside, where Athena secretly stabs her twice. Crystal takes out one blade out of her shoulder, and then stabs Athena with the blender blade still inside her stomach. They lie down and have one last chat, where Athena asks if she got the right crystal.
No, ma'am. You did not.
Athena dies and Crystal picks herself up. She eats the sandwich, then sutures her wound with a flame. She then dresses up like Athena and boards her private jet. She asks the pilot to take her home while Kelly offers her champagne along with some caviar. And the movie ends. Subscribe to watch more movie recaps like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.